Okay, life path number 3. Now, the number 3 is such an interesting number because invariably, whether you're talking about the life path number or the destiny/expression number, you are talking about a number that has a preoccupation with knowledge and how that colors our ability to communicate. Now, where life path number 3s are concerned, in your early life, you might have been surrounded by people who know more than you do, who are more intuitive than you are, but who have less confidence, who have less of a connection with spirit. So they have more life experience, they have more intellectual knowledge, but because they have less of a connection with spirit, or at least they have to work harder at that communication with spirit, they can be quite often shut up by your confidence and your articulacy and your ability to just believe in what you're saying. So you, as a younger person, might not know what you're saying or might not know why you're saying it, but there's such a confidence in the way that you say things, and there's such a natural connection to spirit that you can often get what you want. And you often communicate to people in a way that they never thought of before. Again, you could be communicating completely from a place of ignorance, completely from a place of not really knowing anything, like intellectually. But because you have that spiritual connection, that connection to spirit, and you have that confidence, you have that joviality, you have that joyfulness, it leads a lot of people into believing more in what you say than in their own knowledge. Okay? So yes, number 3s are actually very intuitive. Because of your positive nature, you can be very intuitive and you can be very connected to spirituality. You can be very connected to your own intuition. But then also, because your emotions are so powerful, number 3s have very powerful emotions. Other people can also be swayed by your emotions, even when they're right and you're not. They can be very swayed by your emotions, which can cause other people to trip up over their words. Even when they're right, it can cause other people to trip up over their words and to kind of not be as articulate and as dynamic as you. So you can argue your way out of a lot of different things when you're a life path number 3. And that's not always a good thing, because sometimes you argue your way out of something good. Sometimes you will talk your way out of really good things that you could be enjoying in your life, which is a shame, but it is what it is, okay? Now, later on in life, it will come a time where you will be the one in your own life that's going to be the knowledgeable one, that's going to be the rational one, that's going to be the less intuitive one. So you've started off being surrounded by these types who are more intellectual, more rational, less confident than you, but they know more. That is who you are going to turn into when you mature. When you finally mature and you grow up, you are going to become that person that is more rational, more articulate, more rational. You might not be as articulate when you have something to say as the person who just got a spiritual download. Do you understand what I mean? You might find yourself surrounded by people receiving spiritual downloads all the time, able to come up with just the right thing to say when things are at their most emotional, whether that be wonderfully positive emotions or negative emotions. You will become the rational one and the one who knows more eventually if you are a life path 3. It's just not going to be as fun as you envisage it to be, because you can go from being confident, spoiled, highly connected to intuition 1 minute, and then, before you know it, life takes over and you become a little bit harder, a little bit colder, but a little bit less sure of yourself. The more you know is the more you realize how much you don't know. And that can really interfere with your confidence, which is, again, a real shame. It's like you get 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. The more you know, the less confident you become, and the less confident you become, the more humble you become. But it can also be the more judgmental you become as well. It can also be the more insecure you become. And insecurity and judgmentalness, they can come hand in hand quite often. Now, when it comes to what you are supposed to know, it comes back to the way you communicate, how you communicate, you being in touch with your spirituality, you being in touch with how you communicate. It comes back to you, how you give to people. It comes back to how you give to people. It comes back to what you put your positivity towards. Do you understand what I mean? When it comes to what it is you're supposed to learn, it comes back to your self-expression. The thing that you are supposed to become knowledgeable in is yourself. Like I said, number threes, life path number threes have a natural connection to spirituality. That's one of the things that you're supposed to learn, how to connect to your spirit, how to connect to your emotions, how to connect to that again. You're not supposed to walk away from your connection to spirit. That's not the point here. The point here is that you're meant to give structure to your relationship with spirit. Thus, when you behave from your intuitive mind, it's not a sporadic thing. It's a thing that's constant. It's a thing that you can always come back to. You want to develop a more structured and a more stable relationship with your spirituality, so that whenever you need it, you can always rely on it. It's not about turning away from what you are. It's about giving structure to what you are, right? So that's the first thing. Your spirituality, if you're a number three, is something that you must prioritize. Second thing is self-expression. It's okay to have the gift of the gab. It's okay to be able to sing, dance, paint, and stuff like that. But you need to pick one particular creative endeavor and master that. That's what you need to do. You need to pick one creative endeavor, master that. It's not that you shouldn't pursue other interests, because nobody wants to be doing the same stuff every day, okay? But you need to pick one creative interest, become mastered at that, because it's only a matter of time before everything else that you're doing, whatever other hobbies you're doing, it's only a matter of time before those other hobbies become incorporated in that one creative endeavor that you're doing, or that one hobby that you're doing. Like, let me give you an example. If I was a model, right? And, I was like, as a model, you're not just a model, right? You're also a choreographer, because you have to learn how to walk and communicate the messaging of the clothes that you're walking in. You have to learn how to communicate a particular idea through your walk. Also, you're learning about other languages. You automatically learn about the French language and how that relates to clothing. There are certain, like in music, let's just say for music, for example, music theory, there's a lot of Italian in music theory. So it's like when you focus on one creative endeavor, you learn all kinds of other different elements. You learn all kinds of different skills when you focus on that one creative endeavor. There are so many other skills, both creative and non-creative, that goes into mastering one particular skill. You don't have to spread yourself thin in order for your life to be interesting. That's the point that I'm making poorly. All right. So one creative skill can give structure to the way you express yourself. Connecting with your spirituality can give structure to the way that, you channel your intuition, and also the way you think positive, the positive thoughts that you have. Instead of trying to see everything as positive, see the positives within. So whatever situation you're in, instead of trying to see everything as a positive thing, look within the thing and see whatever it is within the thing that you're looking at, or within the situation you're looking at, that can be used as a means to create positivity in your life. Because every single experience you have, whether it be good or bad, it always has a core piece of material within that allows you to find the positives and allows you to see opportunities where other people don't. So those are three things: spirit, one mean of creativity, one creative expression, and also finding the positive within each situation rather than judging everything as positive. So that's life path number 3. I hope that was helpful to you. God knows I was rambling a lot, but hey, it is what it is. Life path number 3. I am Empress Justice. I'll see you in the next video. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye, my darlings.